On the first scene of the film, Sara Mitich's character Eileen wakes up on a chair and loses all memory. She realizes she is in some sort of cell when she surveys the space. There are strange jagged cones lining the walls, no windows, and no door. All that's present is a display with pixelated squares on it and a table with a pencil on top. Something cries out to her. "We're going to kill your daughter Eve if you don't move the pencil on the table before the timer goes off." The room's lights shift to a red hue. Then one by one, the display's pixels begin to turn black. Eileen struggles over to the table, still weak and confused, and moves the pencil. She tries to speak to the voice as the lights go back to normal. However, then's a beep, and she's knocked out cold. Eileen wakes up back in the chair, her eyes rolling into the back of her head. This time, she is shackled to it. Her feet are shaken to the ground and her hands are zip-tied together. "Eve will be killed if you don't move the pencil before the timer goes off." "Can Eve be saved by Eileen?" the voice demands. The only person in the cage, Eileen, is bright and imaginative. We don't have time to reflect on the true nature of the situation as we witness her mind racing against the clock. Then, when we see lightning in a bottle, George Chertoff's character Roger is introduced in the movie. It is heartbreaking to watch Eileen and Roger fight to survive together since they feed off of each other's emotions. Roger is charming, remorseful, and hopeful, whereas Eileen is stubborn, brutal, and gloomy. Their chemistry is unmatched, and they work well together. The third act has some weaker writing, leading to a visually striking but meaningless artistic conclusion. The film's conclusion concludes Eileen's story, although it leaves most of the questions unanswered. The difference between Sara Mitich and George Chertoff's personalities is intriguing, and it was engrossing to see them solve the mysteries together. They are both passionate and grounded in their roles. When we first see Sara Mitich as Eileen, she appears to be a typical woman who is scared and confused. But, as the tests go by, we see how cunningly she overcomes each one until at last her intelligence is able to save her. At that point, we witness the desperation and despair set in. Throughout the film, she portrays a wide range of emotions and physically captures the character. It was really unsettling to see her hand spasm and her eyes roll back in her head. He is charming, humorous, and composed at the same time as being suspicious and impatient. I was watching with a slight twist in my stomach because of his amazing reactions. Speaking of the visuals, this movie looks fantastic. As I mentioned at the beginning, the sets consist of a single, futuristic-looking room and a dimly lit warehouse. They managed to transform the room into a terrifying prison cell with no chance of escape. And the warehouse becomes even more terrifying when Eileen manages to escape. As we pack the apartment with her, its enigmatic chambers and dim halls seem to be threatening to take us whole. This film never gets boring to watch thanks to its imaginative shots and exquisite camera work. The filmmakers expertly control color, lighting, and framing to produce moments that have a cinematic appearance.